Thanks to Darren Blackshaw for this request. This video is going to show footage from a fair few different versions of Spy vs. Spy, for the most part because they're largely the same game. He didn't ask me to do this, I just did it because I've got nothing better to do. So, Spy vs. Spy was first released for the Commodore 64 back in 1984 and was ported to practically everything that had a microchip in it. Apple II, ZX Spectrum, Acorn Electron, Atari ST, BBC Micro, Commodore 16, MSX, Amstrad CPC, Amiga, Game Boy Color, NES, Game Boy Advance, and lastly, the Master System. Based on the wordless comic strip of the same name from Mad Magazine, Spy vs. Spy plays out as a split-screen spy-off, in which you, as the white spy, must find a number of items around a house and escape before your nemesis, the black spy, can do the same. As well as being able to kick them swiftly in the balls until they die, you can also set traps, which you'll no doubt constantly walk into yourself because you've forgotten where you put them. Now, truth be told, I've played 4 versions of this game as a kid, across 4 different consoles and computers, and the differences between them are slight at best. Normally accounting to some graphical concessions and a change of music here and there, and whichever format you decide to play Spy vs. Spy on, you're going to be getting pretty much the same experience regardless. In fact, if you go and look on YouTube for playthroughs of the game, just pick a format, doesn't matter which, go into the comments section and you'll find someone declaring that their preferred format was a lot better than whatever format is currently being shown. It's complete bollocks. There's barely any difference at all, and it seems that nostalgia for Spy vs. Spy is very much cemented on whatever the first version was that you played. If you enjoy Spy vs. Spy on the NES, that's great. Enjoy Spy vs. Spy on the NES. It's allowed, you can do that. I will say though that kicking people in the balls appears to be a Master System exclusive. In all the other versions you use a stick to whelp people, so if your decision making hinges on testicular torsion, that might swing your decision. The first version I ever played was the ZX Spectrum version, followed by the C64 version, followed by the NES version, followed by the Master System version, and here's a lesson for all of you. I've got experience with this game across 4 different formats, and I was convinced that with my vast swathes of past experience, I'd be able to jump straight back into the game with no issues at all. I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. And not only was I wrong, this being a game focused heavily on multiplayer shenanigans, I'd invited one-time YouTube star and non-retro gaming enthusiast multiplayer Ian along to play the game with me. It did not go well. Multiplayer Ian!
Hello, I'm Dave.
I'm not going to introduce you.
This is Spy vs. Spy. Like and subscribe, please. My family is starving.
If I got 10 likes, I'd set up an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Which would be lovely, because I'm a hairy boy.
Yeah, it would basically be like OnlyFans for a rug. So it's worth doing if you just go down to the comments and say, thanks, Multiplayer Ian, for your sacrifices today.
I'll show you things.
So today we're playing Spy vs. Spy on the Master System. It was going to be the Commodore 64, but I couldn't get that to work. So we currently have not played any of this, and I currently haven't played this since I was about 8. Have you any experience with Spy vs. Spy multiplayer?
No, not at all. The single player Dave, no.
And computer level for one. Hide airport until the end. Ooh.
That's
a cheeky little option, isn't it? I keep picking... Ooh, I've got a key, Ian.
A photo of a fat bell in there.
I've got a key.
Well, I've got an umbrella.
3 more items.
I don't know how to... I can get the thing out of my inventory.
Yeah, I think you press the B button.
Oh, question mark.
Oh!
What's happened there?
I'll put a trap in it.
Oh,
I got you.
Oh, right. The red thing on the bottom's a door.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now I've picked up this by pressing B.
Yeah, no, I keep picking them up.
Is.
I have no idea what it is or what they do.
You found 4 things, Dave.
Oh, shit, yeah. Now I need to find the room. Yeah! Now I need to find the way to get out of here.
It's only water. Why has it killed me?
Because you're a dirty spy.
I don't like this game. I didn't know about the bucket trap at all. Is your man taking ages to leave the room?
No, I kept pressing the button.
Oh, you bastard. Oh, I was too overexcited. Piss bags. But I can't steal your stuff.
I think you have to set the trap to kill me.
I did. I put that
Nah.
in when you went in there.
Oh, I thought I did.
Oh, I don't know.
Unless I did it just before you.
Yeah, maybe, mate. So at least you've got a purpose. Just wandering about. There is no point to this guy's existence at the minute.
I've just lost something and you've got it.
Yeah, see? Oh, it's alright when it's me,
Did
isn't
that
it?
happen? And there's
Oh,
Yes.
right. Apparently it said it should have hidden things in that room, shouldn't it?
Oh, well, I got a thing. But now you've still got two things.
I don't get it.
What do I do? What an absolute shit show. And bear in mind here that halfway through that attempt, I went and read a manual and we still couldn't work out what the hell was going on. Going back to YouTube comments while watching playthroughs of the game to try and work out what the hell I was missing, I found comment after comment saying things along the lines of, as a kid, I had absolutely no idea what to do in this game. And then it dawned on me, I had played this game across 4 different formats as a kid, both on my own computer and friends' computers and consoles, and not once did I or my friends have any idea what we were actually doing. If anyone ever won, it was a happy accident at best. We mostly spent the entire game setting traps and laughing when we caught someone. And that's the strangest thing about playing Spy vs. Spy in utter confusion this time. Both myself and multiplayer Ian were missing the simple joys of exploding each other into 1,000 pieces. As a kid, there was nothing more fun than smashing your friend's balls off with a well-placed foot, or making water fall on their head by sticking it above a door when they weren't looking. We were so focused on trying to work out how to win that we completely neglected the raw, unadulterated joy of just being a dickhead. I eventually came across a manual that explained the rules in a language that actually made a bit more sense, and even then, it still took a couple of games before I really clicked onto what was happening. The goal of the game is to find 4 items: a passport, money, a key, and some secret plans. You need to carry these items in a briefcase and get to the airport door in order to escape. What the instructions don't make immediately clear is just how picking up items operates. You find items by searching through furniture, and if you pick up an item while you don't have the suitcase, you'll carry it, but when you go to search a different piece of furniture, you'll hide it. You need to have the suitcase in order to pick up more than one item. Which sounds confusing, and it is, but it goes further than that. If you're carrying an item, and you walk into the same room as the other spy, you'll immediately drop all of your items in the nearest piece of furniture. You can't search through furniture while you're in the same room as a spy, as your controls change from press button to search furniture to press button to kick balls, and it forces you to either fight to the death or make a run for it. If you make a run for it, then, of course, the other spy will grab your hard-earned loot. While it sounds confusing, with a little bit of playtime under your belt, this convoluted set of rules starts to make a bit more sense. For example, at first, dropping all your items when you meet another spy seems like absolute madness, but it stops the person who's currently in the lead from having a runaway victory on their hands. If you see your opponent has the suitcase and all 4 items, you need to quickly scan your map and work out where the hell they are, so you can cut them off before they get to the airport. If they hadn't done this, the spy with the suitcase could just run right past you and it'd be an absolute nightmare trying to kick them to death while they're hot-footing it to the exit. It becomes a case where the game is heavily reliant on both spies consistently spying on each other. You need to watch what your opponent is doing just as much as you're watching yourself, because you need to keep an eye on where they are, what they're up to, and whether or not they're setting traps. And traps are a whole other set of rules in and of themselves. You have the bomb, which can be placed everywhere but a door, a spring which can be placed everywhere but a door, the water bucket, which can only be placed on a door, the gun with a string, which can only be placed on a door, and the time bomb, which can be placed anywhere. Then, there's items you can find in the game world that can be used to defuse all these traps. You have the water bucket, which is always found in the firebox. This can be used to defuse the bomb. There's the wire cutters, which you'll find in the toolbox. These can be used to stop the spring. There's the umbrella that can be found in the coat rack. That's used for the bucket of water. And then there's the scissors, which can be found in the first aid kit. That's used for deactivating the gun with a string. You can't deactivate the time bomb, though, and while all the other traps are activated, when a spy uses the booby-trapped object, the time bomb will simply explode after a set amount of time, killing anyone in the same room as it. Now, just Just imagine this for a moment, right? Think back to that first play session with multiplayer Ian, and think back to all of those comments from YouTube watchers who'd consistently commented that they had no idea what to do in this game as a kid. Is it any wonder? The manual that I came across was about 11 pages long at most, nothing major, but the rules are so dense, and it's filled with so much unnecessary jargon. Simul play, simul vision, trapulator, money. What are all of these things? It's a game that wraps itself up in rule after rule to the point where if you're going to play this in multiplayer, and you really should be playing Spy vs. Spy in multiplayer, you basically have to sit and explain everything out to whoever you're playing with. And I've not even talked about time yet. Both spies have a different timer, and the timer is affected by multiple things. If you set a trap, that reduces your countdown timer. If you get killed, that reduces your countdown timer. And if your countdown timer reaches 0, your plane takes off without you. What I'm trying to say is the game is not Bomberman. You can't just invite someone over and say, that button drops a bomb, don't get blown up by bombs, try and blow everyone else up with bombs. The bare basics of Spy vs. Spy are, collect 4 items in a briefcase, avoid the other player, find the exit. But if you go in there with just that knowledge, you're not going to get anywhere. So, with all that being said, I finally understood what the hell was going on, and I took to the AI for a few rounds of spy smashing, and, well, it's a lot more fun when you know what you're actually doing, I can tell you that for now. The big issue here is that, for the most part, the AI is largely, well, boring. You can, for instance, go for a piss and forget to pause the game, then when you come back, find out that the other spy has collected all the items, kill him, get those items for yourself, and then get to the exit without really putting any effort in whatsoever. This is the biggest downside with Spy vs. Spy, really. It's not a game that holds an awful lot of joy for the lone player. Yes, it's largely the same game, whether you play it single player or not, but it misses the tactical mind games only 2 human beings can bring to the table. Mind you, that other person also needs to enjoy the game and also needs to understand the 1001 rules that go along with it. So, with that being said, I invited multiplayer Ian round for another bash. Okay.
So, but why are these guys spies? 'Cause it just sounds like thievery. Alright. Oh, fuck off. I'm miles away from any item.
You should have looked at your map, you
I should have. Forgot about it.
Now I've got everything, so my aim really is just to keep out the same fucking room you're in. I'm genuinely not sure what you
No,
are.
I'm not.
Oh, you shithead.
Come to me, my child.
Just do the can.
Are we even hitting each other?
No. Briefcase is still in there. Oh, no.
Oh, fuck off!
Yeah. Ha! Dropped.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
Yoink. Oh, you shitbag.
Oh, yeah!
As if that was the exact same room that you put that bomb.
That's the only trap I've set in the entire 2 games.
Fuck hell.
Gonna be a trap here. I knew there was. I don't even know how I went through. There's an umbrella right there as well. But I knew there was a trap.
Oh dear.
Boogada, boogada, boogada. I'm coming for you, boy. You can't have any fun, I'm not.
Ah!
Ah, you're useless. Oh, I've lost you. Oh, I went into the inventory.
That'll teach you. Yoink. Fuck.
I was looking at my map. I'm dead.
You better be. You better be. No.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's my own trap. Oh, I thought I had the scissors. Oh, it's the umbrella. What's scissors going to do against the paint bucket?
Just cut the bucket.
I wasn't thinking.
Fuck not. Yoink.
Oh!
Umbrella problem there as well.
Oh, can you only wear them through one door?
No, you can only wear them.
I'll in a different room. Ah, right, fair enough.
Until you fuck off. Oh, Jesus!
As if you just drop everything when you see someone else.
I've dropped my umbrella!
Oh, I've lost you.
Just need to find
Oh, have you got all 4 items?
Yeah,
Oh, you
somehow.
bastard. You snuck that out.
I just need to find the fucking airport.
Ugh, that was me again.
I really have time to look at that. Well, that's the end of that.
Thank God.
What an absolute shit show. But a good one this time, and I'm not just saying that because I won. Multiplayer Ian wasn't a big fan of the game in the end, but he certainly understood where the fun was to be had. He was simply overwhelmed by the number of moving parts in the game, and to be fair to him, he gets overwhelmed quite easily, the poor lamb. What was clear, though, is that knowing how even some of these moving parts rubbed against each other made for a much more entertaining game, and the amount of laughter that the game produced this time in comparison to our first time round was undeniable. And while multiplayer Ian came away from the game feeling like he never wanted to play it again, he couldn't deny that he enjoyed his time with the game, even if he didn't particularly enjoy the game itself. Which is understandable. Spy vs. Spy is not a game for everyone. It's a game in which you have to juggle so many different balls that you inevitably drop them all on a regular basis. And when you drop the ball in this game, it automatically gets hidden in a chest of drawers and you have to go and find it again. Keeping an eye on your opponent, their movements, where the items are, where your opponent's traps are, where your traps are, where you are, where they are, where the exit could potentially be, how much time there is left, what traps you've got left, whether it's safe to use your map, what remedy works with what trap, where the remedies are. It's a lot. It's a lot to get your head around, and it's a lot to consistently keep track of. It's not a game where you can just know the rules to play. It's a game where the rules have to be consistently kept at the front of your mind, and they have to be applied to yourself and to your opponent. And with practice, that's fine. You can get yourself up to speed pretty well, but you also need a willing participant who's going to take on board all of that information as well. It's 4D chess, essentially. It might be simple on the surface, but there's a lot to consider, and it's all happening in real time. And while you might be able to handle that, you also need a friend to be able to handle that, because, in all honesty, playing against the AI is essentially just a tutorial. There's no real fun in it. It teaches you the rules, but it doesn't teach you the thought processes of fighting against another real-life, fleshy, human meat man. That's what Spy vs. Spy hinges on, really, in terms of a recommendation. You need to have 2 people who are willing to absorb this rule set, enjoy it, and play against each other on a level basis. You need a couple of thinkers who can outdo each other, and not, for example, a couple of drunk idiots who spend all of their time running into the traps that they set themselves. That being said, if you are those 2 people, you'll still be laughing your arse off even when you're failing.